Good morning, everybody. It's Friday, April the 24th. I'm John Clark, and this is the Made in Paradise podcast, along with my cohorts, Darin Fingleton and Anthony Ferguson. We're coming to you from Costa Rica, all over the country, reporting from both coasts, almost close. Darin, do you still go to Dominical, watch the sunset?
I would say maybe about once a month. It's right now with rainy season coming in. It's the road's starting to get a little heavy to make it over. So I try to go out, not as much as what I used to during dry season, but yeah, I like to make a trip down there every once in a while.
It's an hour. It's an hour to get there, hour and 15.
Yeah, it's about an hour. Or if I take the back road here, which I'll get to Uvita, and that takes about 30 minutes, 35 minutes.
Oh, yeah, there's that back road now. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, that's good.
And it's actually pretty nice right now. I wouldn't take the car that I have right now, but if someone had a pickup truck or something that's just little more stout, or a four-wheeler, makes it over just fine. No problem.
Here's a quote of the day, gentlemen. Whatever happens around you, don't take it personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of themselves. What do you think about that?
Wow, that's deep. I mean, in my personal life, sometimes someone said something and you feel offended, but like you said, like the quote said, right? You don't take it personal, right? It's about themselves, right?
Well, you hit on a good word there a minute ago. You said offended, and that's what most people get is offended fast. And to me, when you're offended, you're just handing control of your emotions over to somebody else. It's like, let me let you have control of my reality for a little while, right? You're taking something personally. But more than that, and Darin, you got an opinion on this one?
Well, I think this quote really makes you think about that there's other people and you don't know what they're going through with their life. And so if something's bad happening in their life and they want to say something negative to you that's trying to ruin your day or something, don't let that in. Keep a positive vibe and keep going.
When should you fire a customer for being difficult to deal with?
When should you fire a customer?
Right, because just think back across our vendor customer situations, right? Over all these years, different customers, different vendors, and how you have problems, and a lot of those problems stem from people's personality, right?
Are you talking about?
Think about the guy that handled all of our local logistics in Panama. That truck driver.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Think about how much his personality negatively affected the people that went around him, right? So when do you say to yourself, okay, I'm not going to take this personally, but you're out the door?
I think it really has to do with how much they're affecting the other people around them, and if they really start getting to the point to where they're affecting everyone else around them, that's when you really have to make that decision.
Give them the boot.
Yeah.
I completely agree, because I was working at this supermarket and we have nice people coming in back and forth, and then sometimes the owner, which is a very nice guy, we would have a line of people waiting for purchase, and right behind the supermarket is this bus station. So people went straight to the supermarket and purchase whatever they need, but then you have the customer that they go next door first and they purchase this lottery ticket.
Mm-hmm.
So they wait at the lottery ticket that someone attend them, then they come to the supermarket, but they're running out of time. So then they come in the supermarket, can you attend me? But there's a line. So the owner, he decided to say, no, you got to go buy somewhere else. You cannot just come and jump the line because you feel like, and there's people waiting. So you went to the lottery store, you make the line, you wait, they attend you, and then you want to come on a rush? No way.
Yeah, that's right. That's really overstepping, though. right? You get yourself in a fight, you cut a line in Coweta.
No one likes line cutters. I think that goes for everybody.
But man, the traffic here, I mean, Panama's worse, but the traffic here, the way people will cut you off, right? You get killed in Texas if you drove this way.
Yeah.
you just could not do it, right?
I don't know if you saw, this was a while back, but it's starting to get pretty aggressive here too. I saw that there was a guy shooting at a they were cut off. I think they were leaving out by the airport there. They're just trying to get off that Haco, and the dude just came up and cut off, and the guy that was behind him got so upset he pulled out his pistol and just started firing off some rounds. No one was hurt, but
the good thing here in Costa Rica is hardly anyone has a gun, right? I mean, if you're in Texas, everyone has a gun. They have 3 in their car, right?
Yeah.
So that's one of the good things about the traffic. All right.
I do like to say, before we could, there's a saying here in Costa Rica which is "pura vida," but I don't see that here on the streets. When a Tico gets into a car, the pura vida just kind of goes out the window.
I think the traffic outside of San Jose is okay. I think outside of San Jose, people are okay. I mean, especially you get in a farm community like around Pettis Celadon. I don't think the traffic's bad. Like it just didn't. But you get here in San Jose, it's gotten remarkably worse in the last 3 or 4 years, and that's even after opening that new piece of highway that they opened. I'm not sure anybody in our audience cares about the new highway in Costa Rica, but Darin, what's on your mind today? What do you want to talk about?
Well, John, I was honestly just thinking about yesterday, and I was thinking about technology, and I know you've been in the business for a long time. I'm just curious how technology has really changed how you make contacts today. Because back then, were you just sifting through the yellow books, trying to find somebody to call?
So at age 19, end of age 18, beginning of age 19, I'm working for a company called Sun Distributing out of Bogalusa, Louisiana, but I'm in their Jackson, Mississippi office. And we were faxing people stuff at that time. If you had a fax machine, now not everybody had one, right? So if you didn't have a fax machine, you just call people on the phone. But people were a whole lot more sensitive to a salesperson calling on the phone. I mean, it was a different time, right? It was just really a completely different time. And but we sold.
When you say sensitive, do you mean like they were more open to a sales call and not so cold-shouldered about it?
Yeah, they're more open to a sales call, right? So you call somebody on the phone, and they talk to their other suppliers that way, right? So there just wasn't much, but you had direct mail, and so you would direct mail people stuff, and then they called you, right? And then fax machines came along, and fax machines were $4,000 or $5,000 a piece. So if you had a more on the medium-sized business, you had a fax machine. Small businesses, not so much. And then it moved down like every other technology. And then the company I was working for started selling Rico fax machines under $1,000. And so that was one of the things we were selling a lot of, because we had a fax machine that you could buy wholesale for under $1,000, right? So they would buy that from us for $900, and they would retail it for $12.99 or $13.99 or something like that for a fax machine. And then I remember as years passed by, I bought a Toshiba fax machine that I paid about $5,000 for. That you could like scan in 500 pages and send people, long faxes. And we were selling Sears Craftsman and the manifest, right? They would fax us the manifest. And so we'd take the faxed manifest, might be 25 pages, scan it into that expensive Toshiba. And then I had a list of, auction houses and whoever else had bought surplus, pawn shops, junk stores, flea market guys, whatever, had their fax numbers all programmed in there. And the fax machine sat there going 6-7 hours a day. It's just faxing manifest to people, right? They wanted to see that Sears Craftsman stuff. It was a really different time for the surplus business. I mean, you realize there's no YouTube, right?
Right.
I mean, most people, you have DSL modems, but they're not very fast.
Right.
So that answers the question. I mean, it's come along a long way. I mean,
I was more just curious on how today has really changed, because you guys were still doing big deals back then, and today we're still doing big deals. So
yeah, but I was never doing deals this size. I was never doing multiple container deals. That was computer electronics business, right? So I remember my first $1 million deal that I ever did was selling refurbished Kodak digital cameras. It's the first time I ever had $1 million purchase order. And then I remember that Bushnell went out of the GPS business whenever that was. We sold about $5 million worth of GPSs at one time to Woot. So, but wow. Yeah, technology. I mean, I have Telegram, WhatsApp. I mean, when I was talking to people in China and Hong Kong all the time, WeChat, this is a communication business. And so I think you have to continue to adapt. But my parents had a VCR and they never set the clock. It always blinked 12, right? And when they got a DVD player, they had to have a set of instructions next to the remote to remember how the remote worked. I think it was technology adoption. I wonder where I'm going to get off the ship, right? And just say, okay, well, I'm not going to do this anymore. I'm not going to learn this particular technology, but it's like artificial intelligence, and the people who aren't using it, I don't know what's going to happen, but I know that the people who advance in the world from here forward are going to know how to, use that technology for sure. You and I talk about how we use multiple AIs at the same time. And do you use Google anymore? Anthony, what about you? Do you use Google anymore? Or are you like 90% the AI now?
No, you taught me about AI, and from that I forget about Google or YouTube, or I use directly AI, ChatGPT or something else, but AI definitely.
I mean, you just keep in your mind that it can be wrong, right? And it can be often wrong, and it's always kissing your ass. I mean, just keep that in mind with every single answer. And I despise the way it vomits information on you. It's like, and I talk to it all the time, and it can't stop. It's part of its program, right? It can't stop doing it. But a lot of times I'll say, answer this, and I'll say, I want 50 words, right? Answer this as briefly as you can, because when it vomits on you, it goes 3 pages, and you think, okay, well, I have 20 minutes to get to the end of this, and I'm not going to get the answer that I wanted. And I think to myself, it's like, whoever's designing this, do you not have human conversations? Because I want to have a human conversation one time where I innately know the information that you're trying to get from me. You understand what I mean? Like, when you ask me a question, you may not ask me exactly the question that you want to know, but I'm innately, because of our relationship, understanding, okay, this is what he really wants to know. This is what he's really trying to solve. Do you understand what I mean by that in communication?
Yeah, I saw that Elon Musk said that Grok has now reached a level to where it's more intelligent than any graduate student in any type of field, but I think it lacks that personal touch too, and just understanding what do you really want to receive from this. If your question isn't clear enough, I think it should go back and say, is this really what you're trying to ask? Before it goes into that long spiel.
Yeah, but and then a lot of times it's overestimating what it thinks you want or need to know.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of other garbage information that's not what I want to know. And think about your human conversation. You have to go back and forth, right? You have to go, we're going back and forth, and we're moving towards something the entire time. But you lose your train of thought the way like ChatGPT will vomit on you. Gemini does it too, among other things. I like Claude the best now for just the personality of it, right?
Yeah. I don't like how Claude though has upped their limit usage. They've I don't know, during business hours they charge you basically double for using it. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No. But
I think that's Claude code really that gets into it.
Yeah. I would hate to be somebody in university right now getting a coding degree, right? I mean,
Well, I think it's more learning about how to utilize AI to speed everything up now. I mean, you can learn how to code, and you need to be able to, because I've used Claude Code multiple times, and if you're trying to build something, carry on, sorry.
Well, no, but I'm just saying, think about, this didn't exist, what, 3 years ago, 4 years ago?
Yeah.
And now we're just cranking out stuff like crazy. All you're going to have to do is give it your idea at some point. There will be no coding involved. You'll just be sitting talking to it like Tony Stark talks to the computer in Iron Man, right? You'll just be talking to it, saying, no, do this, do this, do this, do this. And it will do what I mentioned, which is innate in the conversation. It'll understand how to communicate with you as a being instead of just as an intelligence, right?
Right.
So that means to say, do you trust decisions made by AI as much as those made by experienced people?
Do I trust it? You mean like would I trust it as a doctor, or no? As a lawyer, no. I mean, I might ask it what it says and see what it thinks, but then I'm going to go get me a lawyer or a doctor or an accountant or whatever it happens to be, right? Because it's so inaccurate sometimes, and because it hallucinates sometimes. As you know, when I say, like I'll ask it for quotes. Please give me 10 quotes by Mark Twain, and I'm reading down through there, and I get to number 6, and I'm like, man, I don't think Mark Twain ever said that. That didn't even sound like, it doesn't go with his personality. And I'll go pop it over in Google, and they're like, nope, Mark Twain never said that. You just imagine stuff like that, right? So I don't trust it at all.
Okay. So what about, so let me ask this. What worries you more? What AI can do, or what people might do with it?
Can we talk about UFOs for just a second, since you want to go there?
Please.
Well, that's just what came to mind. It's kind of what ties into the AI thing, because there's all this worry about it. And if you watch the Doomsday guys, one of them is Tristan Harris, and he just sounds so legitimate, right? He's like, it's going to kill us all. We have to stop right now. Roman Yablonsky is another one. He's very good to listen to. But if you listen to these guys, they're telling us it's over. We shouldn't do this. It's got a massive chance of extinction, on and on and on, right? And so you're asking me what's more dangerous. The reason I talk about UFOs is because in this latest documentary, The Age of Disclosure, where they have all the government officials and everything, they finally admit that the UFOs flew over the top of our nuclear missile bases and turned our nuclear capability on and off without us to be able to touch it, right? Like in Star Trek, when the alien takes control of the ship and they can't do anything, that's what these UFOs did. And the government people admitted that they did it. They could just turn our nuclear capability on and off. Well, why would they do that? I mean, if they wanted to kill us, they kill us. So they didn't want to hurt us. So I think the message, as I think about all that, I think the message is pretty clear. If y'all decide to shoot those at one another, we're just going to stop you. So you have to think, and I think that UFOs come from another dimension, not from another planet. So we can talk about that later. But when you think about the AI and you think about it being a dangerous technology, there's a whole lot of dangerous technologies all over this planet. I mean, and there's never been somebody that got a nuclear bomb and brought it to a city and set it off. I mean, just think about it, right? You've never really had a terrorism event like that.
Right.
So
I think
that something may interfere with humanity destroying itself. How about that? Is that a good answer, Anthony? Something may interfere, something more intelligent may interfere with us destroying ourselves. Go ahead, Darin.
Well, I think when we talk about what AI will do to the future and aliens and all that, I mean, I think people are thinking too far of what ifs and they're thinking too far ahead in the future. Right now, it's not going to do anything, but who knows in 5-10 years? Well, take it step by step. Take your day step by step. Don't be thinking about and worrying about that, what it's going to do then. I don't think it's necessary, especially when we're coming to aliens.
I think if you're a coder, you need to do something else today. And I think if you're a young person and you're thinking about paying a huge university bill, you might think about something else. I think you might be asking about what jobs are going to surge in the future. I mean, the United States population, I don't think is getting any healthier. So, I mean, you know, healthcare is probably still a pretty secure thing. Legal matters, right? We probably use the AI and come up with a list of things that are going to be safer than being a coder or a paralegal or anybody that's processing words and documents.
Well, even AI, if you look up into that, because I have done that research to see what, I can't exactly recall what it is, but there's a lot of AI-driven jobs. You know, people that are coding to produce these AI.
Oh, I mean, I was seeing this week. There's those people that they've hired them that they just like fold shirts for hours a day and just do tasks with their hands with a camera over the top to teaching the AI that goes into the robots how to do it.
Wow.
So if you see 1,000 different people fold a shirt and you can put all that data together, you'd probably be a pretty good shirt folder. But if you have a job as a human shirt folder right now, might grab a book and start reading. I don't know, man. I don't know. Because you think, Anthony, you got to wonder, when are the robots going to be in the fields in Costa Rica picking coffee instead of the Panamanians and Nicaraguans, right?
Yeah, so I was in Panama, and I was at this restaurant. It was like a Chinese restaurant, and I was making line about to order my food, and I hear a sound, a weird sound, and it was this robot that taking the plates to the table, and he's switching around tables, and I'm like, I had a video now of that because I was surprised. It was my first in my life I saw a robot
in Panama.
In Panama, right? So I'm like, we are literally close to see no one in restaurant attending customers and
but I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think people are gonna like. I don't think they're gonna like the robot. I think they're gonna be worse. I think it'll be robot racists. I think they're gonna hate robots everywhere, and they're just not. I mean, you don't want to go on vacation, and you spend a nice vacation, right? You're gonna go to this nice resort, and you're gonna walk in the front door, and a robot's gonna greet me. I
saw one of them at a Chinese restaurant back in Texas. It was the buster, so it would just come by and just clean the tables off, and that was it. I would say it did a pretty good job, but
okay, but just think about that for a minute. You're sitting here eating your food, and there's a machine right there. Even if it just doesn't look like a machine, and you know it's a machine. I just don't think people are going to be so receptive to it. I mean, I just don't think they're going to be like, oh, I love that the robot brings me my drink on the beach in Costa Rica. I don't think so.
All right, so that's why I'm wondering. Okay, for us, probably no, but let me ask you this: what's something we?
Okay, wait, stop. You always do that. Let me ask you this: don't premise when you ask. People's time is valuable. Don't premise. Just ask the question.
What we accept today, what is something we accept today that future generation might not?
Wow. That's kind of a deep question, Anthony.
It is. I'm wondering.
I think that we had some nuclear accidents in the world, and because of those accidents in the world, we became a whole lot more careful with nuclear technology, almost probably too much. And in my lifetime, it seems to me that we've transitioned from a culture that valued honesty to a culture that really values lies. We value the most popular lie. And even in spite of the evidence in front of us. So you say what future generations, I think that sometimes that we might have some lies not too long in the future cause us some big incidents that might cause honesty to become more important again. That was the first thing that came to mind.
I hope so.
Because you can't just keep going down the dishonesty path because society will fall apart, right? If you just keep having more lies and more lies and more lies and fake news and fake science and fake Facebook.
Right.
Anyway,
sure.
All right, we're getting over our time here. We're at 26 minutes. We're going to talk about some deals because we're supposed to be in the deals business. Proven performer, ladies and gentlemen, John Clark, Anthony Ferguson, Darin Fingleton, and we sell closeouts. I want to talk about this Dove closeout. This is 16 million pieces. It's in Alabama and California, and it's been all over the place for the last 3 to 6 weeks. And if anybody in our audience is interested, we have this product at 13 cents a unit. Take all, but like I said, there are almost 16 million pieces of it. So it's about 35 truckloads. It's a whole lot. Here's some of the video in the warehouse. $35 truckloads is a lot, right?
That's a lot. Is there anything wrong with it?
No, it's all brand new. It came from the Wyndham Hotel Group canceled an order. Apparently, Wyndham, huge hotel group all around the world, canceled an order and then ended up with all of this excess, right? Which we see this a lot. People will buy excess for a supply contract. That contract gets canceled. They've got to get rid of the excess. So next product I want to talk about is Luminati. When I first heard the name Luminati, it made me think of the people that supposedly rule the world, Illuminati. This is Luminati. Anthony knows who the Illuminati are in Cuita, Costa Rica. He knows the Illuminati, right? So this is going to expire on May the 16th. What is that, like 3 weeks from now? And there's 10 truckloads of it. And it's down to 4 cents a can. Wow. 4 cents a can. How about this?
That's cheap.
4 cents a can. 4 cents a can. So there's 10 truckloads of it. So it's $2,000 a truckload, right? About 20 pallets per truckload, about $2,000. And the date on this is the Best Buy. I mean, it doesn't go bad on the next day. I mean, this has got a long time. It's a sealed carbonated can. Luminati sparkling original lemonade, 4 cents a can. That's crazy. All right, last deal for today. It's a Friday. Man, back around COVID, we sure sold a lot of these. At 31,000 of these. These are the ones that have the registration numbers. DECANG medical infrared thermometer. DECANG is all here. 31,000 pieces. Has the certificate. Darin, thanks for putting up that contact information because I completely forgot until this point too.
Yeah.
Just a few seconds from the end of the video. 31,000 of these, $1.50 each with the certificate number. So it's the real deal. And that's it for today. It's Friday. It's time to go relax. To everybody stay with us this long, thanks so much. Please like and subscribe. And we would love to hear your comments. Have a wonderful weekend, everybody. See you on Monday.
You all
Ciao.
see y'all next week.